Today's thought: trust God. Everything will work out in the right way at the right time. Today we are going to see the prose The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. Here is a story that brings out the bond between the author and his loving grandmother. Let's move on to the lesson. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. But people said that she had once been young and pretty and had even had a husband. But that was hard to believe. My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece. Mantelpiece means a structure of wood, marble, or stone above and around a fireplace. See, this is the image of mantelpiece. Mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. He did not look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. As for my grandmother, being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. She often told us of the games she used to play as a child that seemed quite absurd. Absurd means inconsistent or illogical is called absurd. Absurd and undignified on her part, and we treated it like a fables of the prophets she used to tell us. Fables means tales or stories is called fables. Here the author describing about his grandmother and grandfather. Now he says, my grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, she was an old lady. She looked wrinkled on her face for the 20 years that I had known her. And he says, people said that she had a young and pretty husband. That's hard to believe, but I had seen my grandfather's photo hang above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. Now he describing about his grandfather. He says, my grandfather wore a big turban. Turban means thalaipagai, and loose fitting clothes, and he had a long white beard. It covered the best part of his chest, and he looked like 100 years old man. And he looked to have lots and lots of grandchildren. And my grandmother always told us a game when she used to play as a child. And she will thought that game was absurd. But we will treat that like a fables of the prophets when she is telling the story. She had always been short and fat and slightly bent. Her face was crisscross of wrinkles, running from everywhere to everywhere. No, we were certain she had always been as we had known her. Old, so terribly old that she could not have grown older, and had stayed at the same age for 20 years. She would never have been pretty, but she was always beautiful. She hobbled. Hobbled means walking unsteadily. Hobbled means walked unsteadily. She hobbled about the house in spotless white with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop, and the other telling the beads of her rosary. Rosary means used by Christians for counting prayer, meaning in Tamil, Jebamalai. Her silver locks were scattered untidily over her pale, buckered face. Buckered means wrinkled. Wrinkled is called buckered. Wrinkled means சுருக்கம் விழுந்த தோல். and her lips constantly moved in inaudible prayers. Yes, she was beautiful. She was like the winter landscape in the mountains and the expanse of pure white serenity, breathing peace and contentment. Content means satisfaction. Now he says, my grandmother looks short and fat and slightly bent, and her face was full of wrinkles, and she is not beautiful on his young age. He says she is always beautiful, and she stayed at the same age for 20 years. She kept her one hand on her waist for resting, and her one hand always kept rosary. Her lips constantly moved because she always tell prayers, and her silver hair dances on her face. And she was like the winter landscape in the mountains. And he says she is the symbol of peace and contentment. My grandmother and I were good friends. My parents left me with her when they went to live in the city, and we were constantly together. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. She said her morning prayer in monotonous means unchanging or boring, is called monotonous. Monotonous sing song while she bathed and dressed me in the hope that I would listen and get to know it by heart. I listened because I loved her voice, but never bothered to learn it. Then she would fetch my wooden slate, which she had already washed and plastered with yellow chalk, a tiny earthen ink pot, and a red pen, tie them all in a bundle and hand it to me. After a breakfast of a thick, stale chapati with a little butter and sugar spread on it, we went to school. She carried several stale chapatis with her for the village dogs. Now he says, we were a good friend, me and my grandmother, and my parents left me with my grandmother, and they went to live in the city for work. So we both lived in the village constantly together. My grandmother get me ready for school every morning, and she will sing a prayer song every morning, and she always sing the same song when she bathed me and dressed me. I listened carefully because I love her voice, and every morning she cleaned my slate and kept it in my bag with ink bottle, a red pen and yellow chalk. After my breakfast of thick chapatis with a little butter and sugar, I went to school, and my grandmother carried several chapatis for village dogs. Every day she feed chapatis for the village dogs. My grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to temple. The priest taught us the alphabet and the morning prayer, while the children sat in rows on either side of the veranda singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus. My grandmother sat inside reading the scriptures. Scriptures means the holy book. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. This time the village dog would meet us at the temple door. They followed us to our home, crawling and fighting with each other for that chapati we threw to them. Now he says, me and my grandmother always went to school because the school was attached to the temple. And when I was studying alphabet in my school veranda, my grandmother will read scriptures in temple. We both get back to home when we had both finished. But this time the village dogs meet us at the temple door because of that chapatis. And the dogs followed us to our home, crawling and fighting with each other. When my parents were comfortably settled in the city, they sent for us. That was a turning point in our friendship. Although we shared the same room, My grandmother no longer came to school with me. I used to go to an English school in a motor bus. There were no dogs in the streets, and she took to feeding sparrows in the courtyard of our city house. Courtyard means free space of the house, meaning in Tamil, Mutram. Now his parents comfortably settled in the city. They also went to the city. And he says that was a turning point in our friendship because hereafter they have no way to go school together because he says I used to go to an English school in a school bus and there in the city there is no street dogs. So my grandmother started feeding to sparrows in the courtyard of my. As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. For some time, she continued to wake me up and get me ready for school. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught me. I would tell her English words and little things of Western science and learning. The law of gravity, Archimedes' principles, the world being round, etc. These made her unhappy. She would not help me with my lessons. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English school and was distressed that there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. One day I announced that we were being given music lessons. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval. She rarely talked to me after that. Now he says, sometimes my grandmother wake me up and get me ready for school. When I came back, he will ask what the teacher had taught me. And I will say her English word, little things of Western science and learning, and the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, etc. But this made my grandmother unhappy because she could not help me with my lessons. If it's in Tamil, she can help me, but I am studying English school, so she would not help me with my lessons. And she was stressed because in my school they are not teaching about God and scriptures. And one day I announced that we were being given music lessons, but she maintained silence. After that, she rarely talked to me. He says, when I went up to university, I was given a room of my own. The common link of friendship was snapped. Snapped means broke or cut is called snapped. My grandmother accepted her seclusion. Seclusion means isolation. Isolation is called seclusion. Seclusion with resignation. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning and resisting prayers. Only in the afternoon, she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bites, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bed. Chirping, some came and perched. Perched means sat or rested is called perched. Perched on her legs, others on her shoulders, and some even sat on her head. She smiled but never shouted them away. It used to be the happiest hour of the day of her. Now the author says, after I went to the university, I have a own room of mine, and my friendship was stopped, and my grandmother accepted her loneliness, and she always sit on the spinning wheel to talk anyone. From the sunrise to the sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning, and she often prayer. And she will take rest in the afternoon only to feed the sparrows. Before he cut their bread, hundreds of little bird sparrows create a round of my grandmother, and she will not give a sound to shoot them away. Some sparrows will stand in her legs, shoulders, even her head also. And that was the happiest half an hour of the day of her. She will be very happy when she is feeding sparrows. When I decided to go abroad for further studies, I was sure my grandmother would be upset. I would be away for 5 years, and at her age, one could never tell, but my grandmother could. She was not even sentimental. She came to leave me at the railway station but did not talk or show any emotions. Her lips moved in prayer, her mind was lost in prayer. Her fingers were busy telling the beads of her rosary. Silently, she kissed my forehead, and when I left, I cherished the moist imprint as perhaps the last sign of physical contact between us. So now he says, when I decided to go abroad for my higher studies, I thought my grandmother will be upset, but she was not sentimental. And he says my grandmother came to leave me at the railway station to send off me. And there she didn't talk to me or show any emotions, but her lips moved in prayer. But her mind was lost in prayer, and her fingers was busy telling the beads of a rosary. After that, my grandmother kissed me on my forehead. Before I moved from there, we touched and hugged, and that was the last sign of physical contact between us. But that was not so. After 5 years, I came back home and I was met by her at the station. She did not look a day older. She still had no time for words, and while she clasped me in her arms, clasped means something tightly is called clasped. Clasped me in her arms, I could hear her reciting her prayers even on the first day of my arrival. Her happiest moments were with her sparrows, whom she fed longer, and with frivolous rebukes. Frivolous means not serious or silly is called frivolous. Rebukes mean scoldings. Scolding is called rebukes. Now he says, after 5 years, I came back to my house, and my grandmother did not look a day older. Still, she had no time for words, and I heard her prayers when she was hugged me. Feeding sparrows is her happiest moment, even on my first day arrival. On that day too, she fed longer to the sparrows. He said. In the evening, a change came over her. She did not pray. She collected the women of the neighborhood, got an old drum, and started to sing. For several hours, she thumped the sagging skins of the dilapidated drum and sang of the homecoming of warriors. We had to persuade her to stop to avoid overstraining. That was the first time since I had known her that she did. Dilapidated drum means broken drum. Now the author says, in the evening, I can see my grandmother with some changes. My grandmother called some ladies, and he got an old drum, dilapidated drum, and she started to sing. This time she is singing for a long time. She sang a song of the homecoming of warriors. She is singing without tired, And he says, "This is the first time I'm seeing my grandmother without praying for a long time." The next morning, she was taken ill. It was a mild fever, and the doctor told us that it could go, but my grandmother thought differently. She told us that her end was near. She said that since only a few hours before the close of the last chapter of her life, she had omitted to pray. She was not going to waste any more time talking to us. Now he says, the next morning, my grandmother was not feeling well and she was suffered from fever. The doctor told us that it could go, and my grandmother told us that her end was near, and my grandmother stopped prayer for a few hours. My grandmother thought that was the last chapter of her life, so she had omitted to pray. We protested, but she ignored our protests. She lay peacefully in the bed praying and telling her beads. Even before we could suspect, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. A peaceful pallor means an unhealthy pale appearance is called pallor. Pallor spread on her face and we know that she was dead. Now he says we protest, but my grandmother ignored our protest, and still she is praying in the bed and telling rosary, telling her beads, and suddenly her lips stopped moving, stopped praying, and the rosary fell down from her lifeless finger, and her face looked like an unhealthy pale appearance. Finally, we found out that she was dead. We lifted her off the bed and, as it is customary, laid her on the ground and covered her with a red shroud. Shroud means cloth used to wrap a dead person is called shroud. After a few hours of mourning means feeling sad, we left her alone to make arrangements for her funeral. In the evening, we went to her room with a crude structure to take her to the cremated. The sun was setting and had lit her room and veranda with a blaze of golden light. We stopped halfway in the courtyard. All over the veranda and in her room, right up to where she lay dead and stiff, wrapped in the red shroud. Thousands of sparrows sat scattered on the floor. There was no chirping. Chirping means the sound of sparrows. We felt sorry for the birds, and my mother fetched some bread for them. She broke it into little crumbs, the way of my grandmother used to, and threw it to them. The sparrows took no notice of the bread. When we carried my grandmother's corpse off means a dead body, they flew away quietly. Next morning, the sweeper swept the breadcrumbs into the dustbin. Now he says, we lifted my grandmother's dead body from her bed and laid her body on the ground, and we covered it with a red cloth. After a few hours mourning, we left her body alone for an hour to make arrangement for her funeral. In the evening time, we went to her room to take her dead body for a cremation. We kept my grandmother's dead body on the veranda, and thousands of sparrows standing in front of my grandmother's dead body. there was no chirping because the sparrows came to eat. Grandmother every day give breadcrumbs to the sparrows, isn't it? So all the sparrows came to eat, but there was no sparrow sound. They sat without a chirping. So the author says, my mother gave breadcrumbs to the sparrows, but they didn't eat. Finally, we carried my grandmother's dead body to the graveyard quietly. On the next morning, the sweeper swept all the breadcrumbs into the dustbin because the sparrows didn't eat breadcrumbs. This is the heartfelt story, The Portrait of a Lady. So, his grandmother was the most outstanding teacher for the author, isn't it? Not only the author's grandmother, everyone's grandmother was the most outstanding teacher for kids. So, take care of your grandmother, spend time with your grandmother.